Hello, I'm Richard. Thanks for the introduction. The artifact that I brought along is my book, which is called Creative Factories, and it's sums up a couple of years of research that I've been doing in Hackney Wick, just up the canal, which is really, in the context of this discussion, a microcosm of, I guess, the needs and wants of multiple communities and different demographics on the eastern fringes of most modern cities, where rents are high, workspace and affordable workspace is difficult to come by. So there are many places like this in London, especially in East London, and the thing that I think is amazing about Hackney Wick, if anyone doesn't know it, is it's a kind of typical post-industrial sort of landscape full of old warehouses, some of them fantastically beautiful, some of them completely the most disgusting 70s kind of tin sheds that you've ever seen. But when you go inside of these places, you'll find that there's young people, graduates, mid-30s people ready to sit down, people in their 60s who are hobbyists, transforming these places into areas of real value, incredible cultural value. So you may open a warehouse and go inside, and you'll find that 3,000 square foot of space is occupied by 20 people living, or the same amount of space next door might be occupied by 5 people running an industrial sort of fabrication service. And it's been my obsession, really, these spaces, and to think, well, how they come about, and how do we keep this kind of thing in our city before the value takes over and this demographic gets constantly pushed outside of the city.
But you can hold it a little bit further away.
In terms of South Build, I think the fantastic thing about seeing how those spaces have been readapted is that a lot of these people aren't architects, a lot of them not even really trained designers in a lot of cases. And I think the way in which they take to materiality and responding to space, no matter what the space is, it's just incredibly amazing to watch. And we kind of realise that this has all come about because it's completely unregulated. The relationships with the landlords and the planning authorities is completely under the radar, completely unofficial, and their status is illegitimate, which in a way is the thing that frees them. It means that they can build what they want, and nobody asks for building control, nobody asks for planning application, nobody asks for anything. And in a way that creates an atmosphere where anything can happen, and common sense kind of takes over. And I'm quite concerned because I think although deregulated space is such an important thing for these kind of spaces to exist, it's also the thing that kills it ultimately because it can exclude others. I moved out of Hackney Wick like lots of people because it got too loud, it became too kind of crazy as I wanted to kind of progress my career and have a proper workspace that wasn't next door to another warehouse that was having parties all weekend. And I think when you leave a place like Hackney Wick, you suddenly realise you're kind of left, like many others, with a kind of very narrow set of choices of where you can live or work in London. And I think this issue of self-build and self-making places, it needs to exist much more widely than it does in places like Hackney Wick and Fish Island. So I'm kind of quite excited to be here to sort of hear everybody else's sort of experience about self-build and ways to kind of make exciting places exist in the city.